When we talk about artificial intelligence, particularly large language models, one of the most intriguing yet challenging phenomena is what we call hallucination. Now, when I say hallucination, I'm not talking about your AI seeing pink elephants. Rather, it's about the AI generating outputs that are factually incorrect or nonsensical. This can be a major hurdle, especially when you're relying on these models for tasks that require high accuracy and reliability, like customer support, content generation, or even programming assistance. To understand why hallucinations happen, it's helpful to take a step back and consider how these AI models work. They're trained on vast data sets, absorbing patterns, structures, and associations in the data. However, they're not truly understanding the content in the way a human would. Instead, they're predicting what comes next based on probabilities. This means that sometimes they can string together words or facts that seem plausible, but are in fact incorrect or fabricated. So, how can we address this issue? The first step is recognizing that hallucination is a known limitation of the current AI models. It's not a bug, per se, but a characteristic of how they process information. However, there are strategies to mitigate this. One effective approach is grounding. Grounding involves anchoring the AI's responses in verified, reliable data sources. For instance, if your AI is meant to provide factual information, you can integrate it with a database or a knowledge graph that contains validated facts. This way, the model has a reference point to check its responses against, reducing the likelihood of hallucination. Another technique is using retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. This involves combining the generative capabilities of the AI with a retrieval system that can pull in relevant documents or data points during the response generation process. Essentially, the AI generates text, but it also retrieves and incorporates real-time information from a trusted source. This dual approach can significantly improve the factual accuracy of the AI's outputs. Fine-tuning your model is another option. By exposing the AI to a more curated dataset that emphasizes accuracy and relevance, you can steer it away from generating incorrect information. This requires a careful selection of training data, and sometimes involves reinforcing learning from human feedback. In practice, this means that when the AI makes a mistake, you can correct it and feed that correction back into the model, helping it learn over time. Now, let's talk about some practical applications. Imagine you're developing a chatbot for a healthcare service. The last thing you want is for the bot to provide incorrect medical advice. By implementing grounding and retrieval augmented generation, you can ensure that the chatbot references a database of verified medical information before responding to user queries. This not only enhances the accuracy of the information provided, but also builds trust with users. However, it's important to manage expectations. Even with these techniques, no AI is perfect. Part of fixing hallucinations is also about setting up a robust system for monitoring and feedback. You need to continuously evaluate the AI's performance, collect user feedback, and make iterative improvements. This is an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. One common misconception is that hallucinations are purely technical errors that can be completely eradicated. In reality, because AI models are probabilistic by nature, there will always be a degree of uncertainty in their outputs. The goal is not to eliminate hallucinations entirely, but to minimize their occurrence and impact. In conclusion, while AI hallucinations pose a significant challenge, they can be managed effectively through strategies like grounding, retrieval augmented generation, and fine-tuning. By understanding the root causes and implementing these solutions, developers can create more reliable and trustworthy AI systems. Remember, the key is not just in the technology itself, but in how we leverage it, integrate it with other systems, and continuously improve it based on real-world use and feedback. So, whether you're building an AI for customer service, content creation, or any other application, keep these strategies in mind to help your AI stay grounded in reality.